Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Swinging Bull, joined by Mr. SLP, and today we wanted to give out our top 3 dividend stocks. How you doing today, Lee?
Good afternoon, man. How you doing, Bull? How's
Pretty
it going?
good. Yep, we had the Jackson Hole Fed kind of the meeting today, and had quite a bit of a sell-off in the overall markets today, as you can see from this SPY chart. This big red candle, that's from today.
Down it goes.
Yeah,
Down it goes.
yeah, over 10 points on the SPY, which equates to about 100 points on the S&P 500 index. But let's go ahead and jump right into the 3 dividend stocks. The first
What you
one
got for us?
the first one I want to look at is MATV. I really like this company. This is actually a paper products company, basic materials. A little bit down today, because the overall market kind of took a beating today, but still looks like there's some good upside on this. If I zoom out on the daily chart, you can see in last year it hit a high of 46.25. Looks like we picked up some support in this $20 area. So I'm really liking the levels on the charts. And as far as the dividend goes, paying a 6.55% dividend. The PE ratios look fantastic. EPS very much in the positive. Not really any outstanding shares out there. Free floats, 53 million. I like where the float's at. Just glancing at the financials, has a debt to asset ratio under 100%. So they got plenty of assets to take care of their liabilities. As far as the income goes, their income has been on a steady increase for the last 5 quarters. And even if we look at the annual compared to 2020 to the 2021 revenue, substantial gain there in the revenue. So we always like to see the increasing revenue with the longer term stocks. Of course, these are longer term stocks, so we can collect the dividends on them. Balance sheet looks great. 2.4 billion in assets, liabilities at 1.74, so below the assets there. So I really like that one. You got any thoughts on MATV, or did you want to give me your dividend stock?
No, I mean, it's at a great level. I mean, if you're looking to find a long-term, in your retirement account, I think this one's great. It came down to this level of pretty much COVID.
Yep.
And then you can just build your position up here and then collect this nice dividend on the way back up again. What I like to look for is strong fundamentals, so strong balance sheet, strong income, cash flow, stuff like that. And it ticks all the boxes. So yes, definitely a good one here.
Very nice. I appreciate that. The next one we can take a look at is your pick, Lee. It's MU. I'll go ahead and pull that chart up right now. Go ahead.
This one's a great. Well, I mean, you can see the resistance. You can pop on a resistance line from the top of all-time high right there, and then just bring it all the way down. Bring it all the way down to where we are now. It's kind of at that rejection point of the trend line. Just because we also had a pretty red day today, so we're down on the day 4.8%, but there's a lot of stocks down that much right now. So for me, it gives me great time in and to start building a position in this actual dividend stock. I mean, it has great income. Net income's gone higher this past year than years before. Total revenue is up. Balance sheet is huge. I mean, their assets is 58 billion. Their liabilities only 14.
Nice.
So their debt to asset is very, very good. So I do like this one. And I know that they only have, I mean, the dividend is a 0.75, but you got to think of the stock price. So the stock price of 0.75 is around like 46 cents per quarter. So you're getting yourself a good, near on $2 per share per year. Yeah. And they just started giving this dividend out in the past year. So I like this one. I like all the fundamentals on this stock. And I do like that it's institutionally owned by 82%, which is very strong for me. So I would definitely accumulate my position down here between 50 and 55, I think would be a good place to start buying your position here to go long. Put in a long term, a year plus, and collect those dividends. So I do like it. Ticks every box for me.
Yeah, I really like this one too. Yeah, Micron Technology. Back on June 30th, which was about almost 2 months ago, it did come down to this low 50 area. And as you can see, the previous price action, that was resistance, which we of course busted right through that in 2021. So now that area of interest is acting as support. And that was kind of justified right here in June, at the end of June, when we bounced.
So I say the bottom. I mean,
Yeah.
you can build your position down to 50, and then start going a bit heavier down there where it holds that $51 range, $50 range. But just think long term, you're going to get taxed the least because you're holding it long term, and you're going to be collecting a good dividend every year. And it's a semiconductor company, so their income's increasing, the demand is increasing. So I do like this one.
Yeah. And I love everything you just said about it. And the beauty is, kind of elaborate, is not only are we collecting dividends on this and saving on the tax bill, but we got some major upside here in this stock if this level holds here. So it's trading at $58 now. We got a high of $98 just this year, back in January. So not only do we get the tax advantage and collect the dividends, but also lots of upside to be had.
And just to let you know that they're planning on actually building a 80 billion semiconductor factory soon. So they're looking at doing that. And also they say that the worldwide semiconductor market is expected to grow 14% for this whole year. So just imagine next year it's probably going to increase from there. So I love it. Love everything about it.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of growth with the semiconductor sector for sure. Just because as technology advances, we're going to need more semiconductors and that kind of thing. But also MU, I was just taking a glance, fantastic PE ratios holding steady in the positive, EPS very much in the positive. And then, of course, we got the dividend yield that Lee pointed out. Let's go ahead and jump to the next one here. So, so we got MATV and MU. And our third one is LEG, L-E-G. Really like this company a lot. This is consumer cyclicals. They do household goods and a lot of home furnishings. So we know that sector is not going anywhere. Looking at the chart, I really like the levels it's at on the chart. We do have some upside to $56, which it did hit in 2021. Looking like we got a nice bounce here in the 30s, probably low 30 area. So we could look at that as some support there. And then, of course, we have the upside possibly to $56 if it wants to retrace to a previous high here. Looking at the financials, PE ratios looking fantastic. Trailing 12 months at almost 14. PE forward at around 14, so holding steady there on the PEs. EPS very much in the positive. This one pays a 4.5% dividend yield, and of course they pay every quarter, as you can see here at the bottom of this chart. Love the financials on this. Debt to asset well below 75%, below the 100% we want it to be under. Assets at 5.3 billion. Liabilities 3.66 billion, so well below the assets there, which is great. Income statement, another thing we like to see. Total revenue is increasing from 2020. You can see from the bars on the chart here, definitely a steady income.
Look at that net income. The net income is a huge increase in this past year.
Yeah, so the 2020 net income was 253 million, and that was understandable because that's when we had the pandemic with COVID and the lockdowns. But if you say that's a variable year, even if we take the 3 past years and then compare to 2021, Lee, you're absolutely right. 59%. We'll call that 60% year-over-year increase from 2021 to 2020. Fantastic bounce, I think, there. So they're definitely back to business as normal with them, and of course, 5.3 billion in assets. So any thoughts on this, Lee? I know I covered a lot of the financials there.
No, that's fantastic. And yes, again, there's so many stocks at these levels, great levels, that have come down from all-time highs that are going to continue to pay dividends. So I do love this one too. And also their last earnings, they beat their last earnings, the EPS. And also their sales were in line, so 1.3 billion in sales. But also they got a few price upgrades as well. So I do like to see a few upgrades instead of downgrades, right? Because we're used to seeing so many downgrades in stock. So when there's an upgrade, a bunch of upgrades, and that's for me very positive to see that. But overall, the charts look like it's selling up. It's above the EMA 200 on the daily, and kind of I would like to see it hold that area for sure. So that around like 38 is probably where I would love to see it hold and then move off of that level.
That's fantastic. I appreciate your input on that one. So to kind of recap, top 3 dividend stocks from Mr. SLP and myself, Bull. It's going to be MATV, MU, and LEG. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that. Our top 3 dividend picks for this month. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. Please like and subscribe. And if you want to keep chatting with us, check out the links in the description. Have a good weekend.